Hi, it's Celeste, your canary in the coal mine. So today I wanted to talk about why are there so many chemicals and stuff in the processed food, the packaged food, the boxed food, the frozen dinners. All those chemicals serve different functions for the food manufacturer. But if you were making the food yourself, there's no need to put any of those into the food. The reason why, for example, preservatives are there is because there is a long time from the time that the food is manufactured at the plant to the time when it finally expires on the shelf. Maybe several years. And they've got to have chemicals in there that make it stable and not rot. Because the natural enzymes in food will normally make things rot. You know that if you leave something out and you haven't put it in a refrigerator or whatever, it starts to decay. That's what it should do. But the manufacturers have to interrupt that process by putting in preservatives. So 2 or 3 of the ingredients in everything might be a preservative. Another thing they like to do is they like to put in artificial flavors. Part of the reason why they have to do that is that they often pick the fruits or vegetables at a quite unripe stage. I used to live in Florida where there was a lot of tomato farms, and you couldn't believe how unripe those tomatoes were when they were picked. They used to drive them down the street in big deep trucks, and they didn't squish because they were so hard. The same thing with the oranges. They used to pick the oranges really green. They don't pick them at the level of ripeness that you would pick them if you had your own farm. They pick them months in advance of that. So they don't have much flavor yet because the flavor hasn't ripened, or they don't have enough color yet. So they add flavorings, they add colors to make orange juice supposedly taste like orange juice because the oranges that they picked were so unripe that they don't really taste like orange juice. So I remember the first time that I made my own homemade pickles. And I had this really good cookbook that was like a compendium of recipes from the Farm Journal magazine. And oh, some of those recipes were just to die for. And I thought I'd try making bread and butter pickles. So I'm following this recipe and I made the pickles and I canned them and I put them away. And I was shocked to see that my pickles were not green. They were kind of like a yellowy color. And I thought, did I do something wrong? And that's when I first started to get awareness that the stuff in the stores are artificially colored to match our expectations, not what it would really look like if you prepared it yourself. So there's at least 3 categories I've talked about of why there's all these extra chemicals in our foods. Another thing that they like to do in foods is they like to add fillers. They like to add things that kind of stretch the ingredients out. So they may be adding ingredients in the food that don't have any real purpose for being there other than to make it bigger, to make more come out of less. And so that's another possible thing that could be in there. And we won't even go to some of the things that are harmful that are in there that are like the pesticides that were used on the crops and all that kind of thing. I'm just talking about things that are added in the manufacturing process to make the food last longer, look better, taste better, and so forth, that are put into the food so that you'll buy it. Oh, and sugar, of course, tons of sugar in everything because that makes it taste better. To most people, and most of us have had our taste buds so adjusted by the packaged and boxed and microwavable food that we think that extra strong flavor is normal. And it takes a little while for you to sort of decondition your taste buds back to what really is normal and to be able to fully taste the natural tastes of fruits and vegetables, because the foods that have been produced in factories are so emphasize the taste aspect. So that's my explanation for why A recipe in a cookbook might only have 5 ingredients in it, but that same thing as a manufactured item on the shelf could have 15 or 20 ingredients in it. Is all these ingredients serve purposes for the manufacturer, but not for your health. So if you can, learn how to make the food from scratch yourself, and you will be so much healthier for it. So that's all I want to tell you for today. And I want you to get well and stay well. Thanks.